Hi my girlies, welcome back to Sass with a Little Bit of Class. I'm Kiara Williamson. Today we're going to be discussing our teenage years, okay? Whether you want to have a therapy session or not, well here we are. I'm actually a busy gal, so let's not waste any time. Let's dive right in. So recently I've been feeling really like not even self-conscious, more like an imposter, okay? I'm feeling self-doubt. I'm just not having the best time mentally. To be fair, targeting my lazy gal era, okay? And when I tell you, I've been doing the house is constantly tidy, it's gleaming, I'm on an absolute roll. But up here, we're having a bad time. I feel like any room I walk into recently, I feel like, oh my god, I do not belong here. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm so bad. Everyone's looking at me thinking, why is she even here? And yeah, it's holding me back a wee bit. So I have felt like this, okay? I always think that when these feelings come up that they're new, okay? I'm like, whoa, why am I feeling like I've never felt like this before? Lies. So let's take it back to when I remember. We're going back high school, we're talking teenage years, we're talking a little bit outside of high school as well, so we're going obviously 13 until 19. So yeah, high school, first job kind of happens. Teenage years is like the most up and down, like everything is changing. You're starting high school, you finish, you go to work, you're getting new friendship groups, your friends are up and down, like people are pregnant, people are getting engaged, people are like having onto their third kids, like it's all up and down, okay? We're all over the place. So I just thought, I'll just tell you basically when I started to get self-doubt and a little bit of imposter syndrome before I even knew what that even was. So my teenage years were a shambles from start to finish. I had a lot of bad memories, a lot of bad things happened. Obviously a lot of good ones as well, hanging out with friends and things like that. I wouldn't say I got bullied necessarily, but I did get a lot of shit. To say the least. There was a group of friends that didn't like me. I went about with a group of friends that weren't really that keen on me, and yeah, the group of friends actually, the group of girls that actually hated me, used to send me home. Like I used to just go home and be like, I'm just not dealing with that. Do you know what I mean? Like, I will just go home. Bye. Do you know what I mean? It was quite good that I had a place that I could just do that. I know a lot of people just have to stay at school and just deal with that. Me on the other hand, no, I'll just walk away. Like, if you're screaming in my face, I'll go, you know what, I actually don't need to deal with this today. I'm just going to walk myself home. And I knew my mum would be totally fine. I just kind of had to explain the situation and she'd be like, fair dues. I feel like being at school, a lot of name calling. To name a few, I got labelled as a slut, slag, a bitch, anything really, that you could think of that's negative. I actually don't think I ever got called anything nice, to be honest. Like, the girls hated my guts. And I honestly still don't, I kind of do know why. I was quite pally with the boys, what can I say? But get a grip. In the nicest way, like, they were calling me a slut, but I was literally basically a nun. Do you know what I mean? I could have got accepted into the church. Otherwise, the girls that were calling me a slut, well, couldn't say the same. Do you know what I mean? It's a bit ironic, really. So yeah, there was that. It was just kind of like, I actually started lying and said I had a boyfriend. I actually didn't at the time. I used to be, oh, I can't be stuck because I have a boyfriend. It didn't help, to be honest. Just anything really. And then I thought, well, if that's not going to help, I'll just put a front on and I'll act like I am. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'll just be a total, if you're going to call me a bitch, I'll be a bitch. Do you know what I mean? I just kind of lived up to that. I remember going home, my mum being like, do you want to chill out? Like, the world's not against you. And I'm like, funny thing is, it actually is. It did actually feel like the world was against me. Like, my whole school, all the girls anyway, it felt like everyone hated me. Even the year below, to be honest. The year above, I don't really think they took much interest in me, to be fair. A little bit, yeah, they didn't really like me. A couple of girls didn't like me there. But my year and the year below, I don't know what I done, to be honest. It wasn't even like a jealousy thing, because I was not. I wasn't gorge. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm just pretty average, to be honest, if not lower. Like, I had braces, like, my hair was probably greasy, let's face it. I used to wear, this stays between me and you, by the way. I used to wear like North Face coats. I used to get compliments of my clothes from the boys. I had a Stone Island jumper. Like, we're talking like nothing that you'd see now. Like, see, when show like my friends now that like didn't know me back then, they'd be like, "That's not you," and I'm like, "But it is." Do you know what I mean? Like, I tried everything to put on this front that I was like solid, basically, and nothing used to all get to me. Even when I read back, you know, like Facebook memories, and I'm looking at my old posts, and I'm like, ugh, like the way I used to speak, the way I used to type, like, oh, it was disgusting. But I would just speak like a typical lad because I was going about with the boys. I didn't want to be one of the girls because, in the nicest way, they were just mean. I didn't want to be one of them. Basically just put up this massive front, and I was just like, you know what, I'm going to distance myself. Like, I didn't really have a girl group of pals. I had a boy group of friends, which is hard because I'm not really a football girl. Like, I'm a girly girl. I just kind of wanted to have that male energy, like, front. Do you know what I mean? Like, masculine, like, do not fuck with me. Does that make sense? For example, like, probably wearing a Stone Island jumper with a little mini skirt. Do you know what I mean? Like, like, I'm feminine, but this is a front. Do you know what I mean? I actually love designer as well. Like, obviously growing up, I didn't really see a lot of like feminine designers. Do you know what I mean? All I seen was like my dad, my uncle wearing whatever they were wearing. So I just kind of looked up to that and thought, that's cool. And that's where we went. So I'm talking like Fred Perry, Ralph Lauren. Actually, I still love a wee bit of Ralph, hence Ralphie's name, my dog. But I don't have anything. I actually don't have. I like their like knitted really jumpers. They're really cute, but I don't have any of them. Sold them all invented. Anyway, it doesn't matter. So yeah, that's kind of where that started. Even the way I spoke changed. Like, my mum and auntie like sitting me down being like, "What are you doing? Why are you talking like that?" And at the time, I actually just thought it's because who I go about with, and you do that anyway. Like, if you start going about people that are using certain words, like even if you're watching TikTok, like, you don't want to say it, but we've all said slay. Do you know what I mean? Like, we don't want to pick up on like these trending slang words, but we do it. We use it as like a joke once or twice, and then it's in our vocab. So it kind of happened like that. I was going about with boys, they were like speaking like a typical lad, and I just adapted some words. But the reason why I started going about with the boys was because the girls just didn't accept me and just thought I was a massive slut. Oopsie daisies. Even though, like I said, totally innocent. So I was actually speaking to my pal the other day, and I don't know if it was just one person that was maybe going through a lot and had maybe seen a lot at home and kind of brought that into school, and instead of people being like he or she needs help, it was kind of like a real jump on this. So by 13, 14, I had seen and been around ecstasy, cocaine, weed, um, loads of things, things that are mixed, things that are, don't even know what that was, like speed, and there were just so many, right? At 13 and 14 years old. So at this time, I had a little brother and sister, and I thought, in 10, 13 years' time, they're going to be in high school, and if it's this bad now, what's it going to be like for them? Okay? Until I grew up a little bit, met other people, spoke to Connor and people like that, and they're like, that wasn't okay. Like, that just didn't happen in other schools. But I'm like, surely. Like, how am I 13, 14 talking about, like, people telling me about their stories of the weekend and taking, like, half an E and all this stuff, and it was just the norm. Like, we spoke about in front of teachers, like, people took it on site, like, people were taking it at the back of the school and then coming into class, like, people were taking drinking to class and passing a bottle of Fanta fruit twist around and Coke, and teachers didn't blink an eyelid. They were just like, they're just sharing juice, as if. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's just wild, to be honest. Like, people out drinking in the fields, and I used to honestly be like, oh my god, I can't wait to hear about everybody's weekend, because I wouldn't go, but I think it just wasn't really my scene. Considering what I used to wear, I actually did used to think, it's just not really a girly vibe. Do you know what I mean? Do I want to look a mess with my jaw swinging? No. It just wasn't really anything I was ever interested in. Like, yeah, sometimes I would go drink at a friend's house, but my mum and dad would always know. Do you know what I mean? I was always in contact. Like, they literally knew it, and I wasn't 13, 14, but not once did I drink in a field. I don't know if it was more like respect to my parents and being like, I'm just not going to do that. If I came in steaming, my dad would have flipped. Do you know what I mean? I feel like it was just like, I knew the boundaries, do you know what I mean? I knew that it just wouldn't have ended well for me. And plus, the girls hated me that used to go up to the woods. So it probably wouldn't have ended well, to be honest, especially when drinks involved. And to be honest, I didn't drink at that age anyway, so didn't really know what I liked. I wouldn't have had a clue. I feel like when you're moving up to primary to high school, you're kind of thinking, oh, I'll probably get asked to like smoke something. I didn't ever think I'd be asked to do like A's at the weekend. Do you know what I mean? When I was in first and second year. But yeah, like I said, I think it was maybe just one person that maybe was going through something and introduced it to the school. I actually don't know, that could be a lie, but that's maybe just what I think. And that would make sense why it was only like one or two schools that were involved and how the whole of my city wasn't. So yeah, I think it was more like a pride thing that I didn't, and I'd be like, oh no, I'm not, like I was kind of balmy about being like, oh no, I wouldn't do that just because someone asked me, and I was just kind of like stubborn. Do you know what I mean? I was kind of like proud, so I just didn't do any of that. So yeah, quite glad I was like that in a way. But yeah, anyway, back on track to what we're actually talking about. Basically, in every friend group I've had, I've always totally stood out, like completely. And I don't know if it's just like a in my head thing or if it's like a imposter syndrome. Like we're just not the same. Like I don't know. And it's not even like they're bad people or whatever. It's just like I'm just not like yous, and that doesn't make me better or worse. It just means we're just different. And I'm getting that a lot just now again, and it's kind of like bringing up memories. I'm like, I don't really want to feel like this. Do you know what I mean? Like, don't get me wrong. Like, it's so strange because see, mentally, I would say that I'm like in a good place. Like, I've stuck to my guns about my lazy gal era is well and truly over. I'm trying to like stick to that, but right now, like the house is always spanking clean. I'm coming home from work, I'm cleaning, I'm hoovering, I'm like mopping, just like the typical stuff that you hear that people do. And in my head, I'm like, I really should be doing that, and I am now. And like, don't leave the house without like my beauty table being like clean, and like makeup's away in the drawer and everything's in its place. And that's kind of how I mean to go on for 2026. So I feel like that sense, I'm feeling I'm honestly smashing life. But then when I walk into a room full of people, I'm like, okay, I don't belong here. For example, this week I was meant to be going to a new dance class, and it's a little bit harder and like a step above the one I'm in just now. And I was going to go to both, of course, and I just couldn't go. And I was literally texting like the other people that got asked to go. I was like, right, we go in, like, can't wait to go. And they were like, oh, like, yeah, yeah. And I said, oh, no, actually, I'm not going to go. I just couldn't. I could not walk into that room. I just could not bring myself to walk into a room that was one, full of girls, PTSD, and I knew were like, obviously, they're fucking amazing, by the way. They're such good dancers. And I thought, I'm just not at that level. And I felt like it just got in my own head, and I was like, right, maybe my dance teacher was just asking me, like, just to ask me. Do you know what I mean? Just to be like, oh, hopefully she says no. No, like when you go, oh, like, do you want anything from the shop? And they go, yeah. And you're like, oh shit, I actually didn't want to say yeah. Or when you go, do you want a cup of tea? And they go, yeah. I'm like, oh fuck. Do you know what I mean? Just like one of them. I was like, oh, maybe she just wanted me to say no, so I was like, I just won't go. And I don't know, I just get in my own head, and I was like hyping it up. I was like, that to my pals that go, I was like, oh, like, I'm so excited about going, like, can't wait to see you there, blah, blah. And then at the last minute, it was me that texted them as well, by the way. And then at the last minute, I went, actually, sorry, I'm actually not going. I just couldn't. Honestly, it got, like, the time I needed to leave my house to go, I just thought, no, I can't. I'm also doing that a lot at work as well. Like, I don't know if it's about being back after the holidays or not, but I'm just like, I'm just in there being like, everyone's looking at me like, what on earth is she doing here? Like, I just feel like I'm so shit. Like, I don't know what it is, or like, I've not done anything, like, nothing bad's happened. I'm being like, oh, I failed that. Do you know what I mean? Because I do that. If I get one thing wrong, I'm like, I failed. Do you know what I mean? Especially bad at getting feedback. Like, after feedback, and when I'm getting the feedback, I'm like, oh, that's fine. Like, I just have to tweak a few things. And then as I sit with it, I'm like, oh, no, I'm a failure. Do you know what I mean? I don't want to do anything either, and then people be like that, oh, like, it's fine because you're just young and you'll get there and it's just with experience. I don't want that. I don't want it to be, it's because you're young. I want to be like top of my game first day in. Do you know what I mean? Like, I want to go into like a new class, a new job, like anything like that, and I want to like be top of the class. And that's never going to happen because I started dancing and working in early years quite late on. Well, not even, like, it actually wasn't late on at starting, like, working in early years, because people join, like, God, people can join, like, in their 50s if they want. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's not even that. I think it's just being, I don't know. I don't really know. I feel like you get people that are so passionate and, like, read up in their free time, and I just like to be like, I go to work. I might do some research maybe on my lunch about things, or look at like activities on Pinterest on my lunch, but when I come home, I'm home. You get people that go home and they're like researching and listening to podcasts and watching videos and doing all that in their free time, and that is just not me. And I'm like, should that be me? But I just want my free time to be my free time, you know? I don't really know how to tackle that. I don't know if it's about obviously being at high school and constantly getting told like negative things, and Connor keeps getting me in trouble because, you know, when you're on your For You page, especially because I've got two different accounts, so my other account always comes up on my For You page, and as soon as I hear my voice, it doesn't matter what I say, I will mimic myself and take the absolute piss. And Connor's like, why'd you do that? And I'm like, sorry, I just can't help myself. I just need to slag myself off. And am I doing it before anyone else does? Possibly. Someone brings up my pod, I'm like, don't watch it, it's shite. I'm like, oh my god, someone texts me. I actually booked into the hairdressers, and the person that does all their social medias was like, oh my god, like I watch your podcast, and I was like, oh my god, that's so embarrassing. I don't know, I just honestly put myself down all the time. I feel like an imposter. I feel like, oh my god, like how embarrassing. Like even when I'm at work, I'm like, how could you go home and do a podcast? Like that is embarrassing. How can you 1 minute be looking after people's kids and the next minute you've got a pod? I just feel like it's very immature, and I get in my own head and I'm like, I'm not even posting this week. But here I am. I don't know, it's just like a little battle I'm having just now with like confidence and just feeling like a total imposter. I don't know how to help that. If you have any tips, can you let me know? I'm struggling out here. So yeah, I'm hoping, like a lot of things, like it just passes. Like I'll probably feel like this for a couple of weeks, hopefully just a couple of days. But I'll probably feel like this for a couple of weeks, and then I'll get over it myself. And I'll be like, just snap out of it and I'll be totally fine. Anyway, I'm actually ready to go out for a couple of drinks. Can you believe it? So yeah, I'll catch you all next week. Don't forget to tune in every Sunday. So yeah, as always, keep it sassy, keep it classy, and I hope you have a lovely week until the next time I see you. Goodbye. Remember, everything is linked down below if you want to follow me, like and subscribe, please. Give me a little rating if you're on Spotify. And yeah, I'll see you next week. Bye, love you.